mental health is something that we don't talk about enough. In the black community, well, we're massively overrepresented in the mental health institutions, even more so than in the prisons. And again, these are questions we have to ask. Well, why?
But once you get a control and an understanding of who you are, no one can use you against you. No one can ever use your mental illness against you. You've already spoke about it, so what you got?
The biggest point in life to resolve mental health is like giving a fuck about a person.
Where did you get the courage? I got the courage for 2 words. I care.
It's Chill Will Radio, where connections will be made, advice will be given, jokes will be told, and things will get real. My name is Willis Cooks, and I'm your host. But understand this show is not meant to be used as a substitute for a relationship with a licensed mental health professional. Enjoy the show, y'all. Yo. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone, tuning in to another good, dope episode of Chill Will. Let me make sure I get all this music and these tunes right. Making sure it sounded nice and level so you don't hear the background over my voice, because my voice is important. What's going on, y'all? What's going on, people? I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everyone's doing good, man. Welcome to another dope episode of Chill World Radio, man. Where we're here talking all things mental health, the good, the bad, the ugly, the not so ugly, taboo, the whatever it really is, man. We're going to discuss it here on this show today, whenever day, every Sunday, live at 6 p.m. I'm feeling good today, man. I don't know why I feel good. I feel like I have a lot of energy. I noticed that I spelled embracing wrong on the title. It's called Emberacing. Well, that's what it says, but the title is Embracing. Spell check. Blame Microsoft and Word and spell check. That's why we don't know how to spell nowadays. But anyway, good looking, man. Thank you to all those folks who are listening and tuning in. If you're going to be hearing this today, tomorrow, next week, next year, next month, whenever you can, whenever you get the time, good looking to you, man. I appreciate it as always, man. But shoot, man, just how am I doing? How's my week? How's everything going so far, man? It's doing good, man. It's feeling really good, man. How is the year coming along so far on this 12th day? I feel like I have as long as I stay the course, and that's kind of with everyone, but as long as you stay the course of what you're trying to do, wherever you're trying to go, whatever you're trying to accomplish, as long as you take it day by day, everything is going to work out fine, right? I think a lot of the times what we do is we tend to look at the whole thing, right? We tend to look at everything instead of just looking at it piece by piece, right? Because if we break it down in chunks, it's going to be much easier to take in, right? That's how we eat food. You don't just pick up the plate and just stuff it in your mouth. The whole plate, like, nah, it ain't going to work like that. You're going to look like a fool, But you take it bite by bite, piece by piece or whatever. Take your time eating the food. Take your time getting the things done that you need to get done, right? Take it day by day. And a lot of the times we just try to go all in with everything. I need to get stuff done, like, now. And that's me. Right? I have an issue with that. I have to get things done now. I have to be great now. I have to understand how to do this now. Like, I can't wait for nobody. I don't even want to wait for myself. Let me find a cheat code, right? To just get to where I need to get to. And that's unfair. That's unfair to myself and that's unfair to you all too. If you're just trying to find a cheat code, if you're just trying to get to the end, because that's what it's saying, right? You're just trying to get to the end. You're not really embracing the journey. You're not really learning what's going on. You're more so just in it to finish it. You're not really in it to gain something out of it. And be mindful of that, right? Be mindful of the goals that you have. Be mindful of the things you're trying to do. Are you really tackling these goals just so you can finish them? Just so you could accomplish them, right? Because if you're focused on getting from the start to the finish, everything in between is going to be useless. But the stuff that's in between is the things that really matter, right? It's the stuff that's inside the sandwich that matter. Not the bread, but the stuff that's inside. It's the stuff that's inside your soul that matters. So same with the journey and getting from the beginning to the end. It's the stuff within that middle that matters, And I'm trying to focus on the journey, right? And it's tough. It's hard, but it's only going to be tough and hard if you look at it from a wide lens angle, right? If you try to look at the whole thing instead of taking it piece by piece, right? And taking it piece by piece is going to give us the ability to kind of lower the anxiety that we all have, right? Because when we're looking at everything, the whole, we're like, oh, shit, I got to take on all that. Like, I got to conquer all of that stuff, and just so I can get here, I got to do all of that. That's going to be anxiety producing. That's going to cause you to be anxious. That's going to cause other things to happen. And it's self-inducing, right? It's self-imposed. And we don't really need to get to that point. We don't really need to allow ourselves to create the anxiety that we already have, because everybody has anxiety, right? I have anxiety. My girlfriend who's in this room has anxiety. Didier has anxiety. All of y'all who are listening, you have anxiety, right? Anxiety is on the spectrum, right? You can have crazy, ridiculous anxiety on like 1,000, or you can just be anxious about little stuff, right? But we all have anxiety. Let's be mindful of not causing our own anxiety to heighten. Same with our depression or our low moods or our whatever, right? Let's be mindful of not inducing extra stuff that we don't even really need to be inducing, right? So I guess just moving forward, and what I've been focused on this week thus far this year, and I'm glad that I've been sticking to that, is just taking things day by day, and taking things as they come, right? Breaking things down into little chunks and taking things as they come. Like, that's the most important part, and I don't want to skate over that, because that's important, right? Beyond important. One by one step at a time, taking things as they come. Because if we don't take things as they come, we're going to try to predict stuff. And when we try to predict stuff and our prediction is wrong, we're going to get mad, sad, angry. Our anxiety is going to go up. It's just going to be a bunch of stuff popping. And we don't need all that, right? That kind of goes into the main topic of the show, but it's we have to do ourselves a favor by giving ourselves a break. And one of the ways we're going to give ourselves a break is by chilling, is by breaking stuff down into little itty bitty pieces, so we can understand what we need to do, how much energy we need to put into this in order to get through it, and how long it will possibly take to get through it. I hope that makes sense to y'all, but it makes sense to me. So anyway, what's the deal? But moving on forward into the self-care piece, right? This self-care piece that I want everyone to implement within their self-care regimen is very, very simple, but I believe it is something that we all need to do at least like once a month, right? Once a week, and I believe it's like every day is definitely too often. Once a week it's like, but once a month, I believe it's something we should do once a month, right? And this self-care piece I want everyone to implement within their self-care regimen is to just throw stuff away, right? Self-care is about, one of the characteristics of self-care is about being able to clear your mind, right? Being able to clear your mind. That's why I like skydiving, because it clears my mind, right? And you need to be able to do stuff to clear your mind. And sometimes when we're living in a junky room, when our car is a mess, when my closet is messed up, when my feelings and stuff are just crappy and I'm just stuffing everything in, right? We don't have the ability. Well, it's because we're not throwing things away. And the more we feel cramped up, the more we feel tight, the more we feel like we cannot move, we're going to get lost. We're going to get angry. We're going to get defensive. We're going to get paranoid. Everything is going to shoot up. We're going to get sad. Like, everything will be more irritable, mad, anxious. Everything is going to shoot up, right? So start with the stuff that's in your room that you don't really wear. That water bottle that's been sitting there for a month. That dish that's supposed to be in the sink that's still in there, right? Start there. Just throw stuff away. Or go to the car. It's a gang of stuff that's in that car that needs to be thrown away. That check that car, check that trunk, right? Clean out that trunk. Just throw stuff away, right? If you have things that's on your mind that you need to get rid of, right? Write stuff down. Rip that piece of paper up and throw it away, right? Write stuff down. Look at what you're writing down. If I need to throw away, I don't know, the negative thoughts I have about myself. All right. Write that stuff down and throw it away so you can be able to clear out your mind, because that's what self-care is, right? Let's not forget about that, right? Let's clear out our mind. And I read on this post the other day that self-care isn't selfish. That's bullshit. Complete BS. Understand this, self-care is 100% selfish. Self-care is 100% selfish. It needs to be 100% selfish. Hell, it's in the title, self-care. It's about how you care for yourself. And that's the thing. What we have to do is understand that being selfish is okay, right? Being selfless is what causes anxiety. Being selfless could cause depression. Being selfless could cause you to have a low mood, to cause you to be irritable, to cause you to be mad, to cause you to not want to trust people because you feel like everybody's trying to take, right? Instead of sometimes saying no. Because we all understand that saying no is healthy for you. That's a form of being selfish, right? When you're being selfish to improve your own mood, to improve your own sanity, to improve who you are as a person, there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're being selfish and using that as a means to an end, when you're being selfish as a means to like just get something out of anybody just because, might need to switch it up, right? So when it comes to this self-care piece, I don't want everybody to implement within their self-care regimen. Just throw shit away. It's simple. Clean out your closet. We don't clean out our closet. We just hold on to stuff. Especially like we all know at least one person who we say are like hoarders and they just keep stuff in their house and they don't throw nothing away and all of this stuff. And it's like, nah, throw shit away. Even if you have to throw shit away for them, do it, right? Because a lot of the times our mind is all screwed up because of our environment. And if we cannot change our whole neighborhood, we cannot change the raggedy apartment complex we're in. We may not be able to change the entire apartment that we're in because we're living with roommates. But that room that you're in, change it, right? Throw stuff away, clean it up, make it neat, make it so when you come back to see it at the end of the day, you feel relieved, right? And that's what's most important, right? The fact that you are able to feel relieved when you come back and things are clean and things aren't a mess. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, we all deserve a cleanse at some point in time. So the one piece that I want everyone to implement within their self-care regimen is to throw shit away. Whatever it is, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, just toss it, homie. Because if you ain't really rocked with it or messed with it or needed it within like a month, 2 months, 3 months, you probably won't need it at all. You'll be all right. It ain't going to kill you to get rid of it. All right? So, on that note, moving on forward to the main topic of the show, I brought the cameraman back on duty. What up, my guy Didier?
What's going on, Willis?
What's the deal, man? Don't be trying to be all cool, but you look.
What's going on, Willis?
You don't need
it's hot
the cool.
in here, bro.
Bruh, it is. You want the AC? Can you turn the AC on?
No, you good. You
Turn
good.
it
I
on,
want the
please.
guys.
Everybody, we all have jackets on. I know you're hot. It's okay. It's kind of cold. The beeping is the AC, everyone.
I appreciate
Gosh,
that.
Didier.
I appreciate that.
Gosh. What's the deal, Mill, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling good. What's going on?
What is good about how you feeling?
Just the last couple of days, man. I just been feeling great. You know, just been doing a couple of jobs, trying, new things. For example, like a fast and, trying video, something
How long was you on that fast?
about 3 days.
3 days? How'd it go for you?
I lost 10 pounds, 2 inches off my waist. I wasn't hungry. I had more energy at the gym, which was crazy.
You gotta be careful.
Right. So I made sure I wasn't really strength training. I was kind of like just cardio, a little bit of leg workouts.
I wouldn't even say don't do no leg workouts, bro. Because leg workouts require a lot of energy because it's multiple muscle groups. I recommend just, little brisk walk on the treadmill, inclined or whatever. Yoga, hot yoga.
That's true.
Or just do nothing. I remember when I fasted, bro, that was the most I ever slept in my life. Well, at one point in time. Because I don't sleep like that. But
right.
Like I was taking naps every day. I was going to sleep early. I was waking up later. Like I was like exhausted. I wasn't exhausted, but it felt good. It felt good to sleep knowing that I was tired.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just like how we were speaking about before, is you don't really feel the urge to eat because you know what it's like when you're hungry. So you start to understand the difference between the two.
Right. And actually, that's actually why I choose to work at night, because I go home tired, as opposed to like working in the morning, getting off around 5, and then you kind of have to go to bed because you know you have to go to work. You know what I mean? That's why I pick night schedules. I go home tired, I wake up real energized.
I'm good. I ain't working nights.
I mean,
I get fired, bro. I shall get fired. I will doze off. I told you I got fired at one of my previous jobs in Cleveland.
Yeah, you say you fell asleep.
I fell asleep.
Was it the first day or the second day or something like that?
I was only there for like 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
I got fired in 2 weeks. I was falling asleep with a job. I was like, no, never again. I'm not doing it.
What was it, security?
Nah, it was working with autistic kids.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you should have told me you thought it was nap time.
Nah.
And you were showing them how to take a nap. I would have said that. You know, I did send something like that one time. I think I was at like a mass interview, whatever, like that, with a whole bunch of people. And we had to be there at 6, you know, and they said, don't let me catch nobody, put in your head. Yeah, right. Well, they're going around calling people.
Yeah.
So I went like this, right? And they're like, yo, I told you don't fall asleep. I'm like, I was praying for this job. Everybody just cracked up, but he was mad. He was just an old guy, he's been there 40 years. He ain't got time for the games.
Man, I ain't got time for you. Don't sit there and get mad at me because I want to put my head down on this job, man. Like, man, get on, man. But thank you for coming through, man. I mean, you was here already, but thank you for sitting down. Thank you for sitting down, man. But, moving on forward to the topic, man. The one thing that we're going to speak about today is this whole aspect of embracing the beginner's mind, right? And what I mean by that is when it comes to embracing the beginner's mind, basically being open, right? When you're approaching anything new, right? Whether it's a new skill, a new sport, a new journey, a new person, just be open, especially when it comes to a new skill. And the reason why part of the reason why I came up with this show, and then it kind of got affirmed when, I went skydiving on Friday, is that I was noticing that I'm 14 or 15 jumps in, and I'm noticing that I'm having a hard time doing certain movements, landing correctly, and making sure I'm accurate when I land and hit my target.
Still?
I mean, I'm getting better.
Right.
But it's not where you want it to be or where I want it to be.
Yeah.
And I'm having a hard time with it because I'm like, shit, you should be doing this already. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Why you ain't got, this forward movement in check? Why you don't have, this dive exit correct? Things like that. And it's like, yo, one of my coach, when I was there, had to pull him to the side. He was like, yo, Willis, the reason why I can do this is because I have 17,000 jumps under my belt. The reason why you can't do this is because you got 11. Chill out. Mm-hmm. And when he told me that, obviously I went and already knew that, but it made sense, and it kind of it made sense, but it also enlightened me and helped me understand that I wasn't open to the actual process of learning how to skydive. I was just like, I need to get to where I'm going. Same thing like what I was saying in the beginning. Let me just pass this class, or let me just conquer it, or let me just whatever. And then it's like when we get to that piece, or when we get to wherever we're trying to get to, we don't really care to continue on with whatever we're doing, right? We accomplished it and it's whatever, So for me, when I'm making sure I'm being mindful of doing this year and within, what I'm doing with skydiving, just to embrace the fuck ups, right? Like I messed up on Friday when I went skydiving, right? Because the way I messed up, not in the air, obviously, but
I know, right? Yeah.
The way I messed up was so you have to check in and sign up to get on a certain plane so you can go, right? And the plane I was supposed to get on is Sky Blue 3, right? Sky Blue is the name of the plane. 3 is like the third time it come down. But I actually got on Sky Blue 2. So when I got on the plane, I took the seat of someone that was supposed to be on it. So that person had to get kicked off of the plane, and I took his spot. And then everybody's like, yo, what's going on? He started going through the road. And I'm thinking in my head like, yo, it ain't me. I'm just sitting here. He started, whoa, Calvin, everybody from school here, blah, blah, blah. All right, raise your hand if I ain't call you. I'm like, fuck. Like, damn, I'm on the wrong plane. They're like, yeah, you fucked up. It happens. You know. So embracing those little mistakes, man. So that's why I believe, that's what I wanted to talk about here today on this show, right? And I thought it'd be dope. Obviously, I hit you a spur of the moment, but I thought it'd be dope to talk to you about it because you are embarking different journeys, right? Especially when you started doing photography.
Right.
It was I don't know if it was hard, but I'm pretty sure you ain't shoot the best shots. I'm pretty sure the shots that you had now are way more crisp and clean than the shots you had earlier. What was the process like for you in the beginning?
I would take a picture thinking like, to me, I'll take an image and I'll be like, wow, like it really looks good to me, and then I would compare myself to, somebody else, which someone told me it wasn't a bad thing. Actually, they told me like, if you compare yourself to other upcoming photographers, you're only gonna either ditto their work or be at that level. But when you say like, dang, I want mine to look like that, or, then you say, well, what didn't I do?
Yeah,
you see what I mean? So there was a lot of that, just taking pictures. Every time I took a picture and I shared it, I would scroll, look somewhere else, and there was a better one that I thought was. I'm like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? There was a lot of that.
Yeah,
a lot of comparison.
I think I don't think, but everything is about perception, and especially with that, like you could look at other people's work, but it depends on how you're looking at it, right? Are you looking at it trying to compare it to that person's work? Like, damn, my picture ain't getting as many likes, or my thing isn't as dope or as bright or whatever, versus looking at other people's work as encouragement or motivation or inspiration or whatever it is. There's a difference between the two. So like, yeah, you could look at someone's work and that could bring you down, but you can also look at someone's work and it can bring you up. Mm-hmm. A lot of the times we don't know how to do the latter, right? We don't know how to look at people's work and use that work as inspiration. And if we choose to look at other people's work, we could sometimes get scared from thinking that, hey, I may be trying to copy that person's work, right? I know me, for instance, I don't like when I'm trying to create something, I don't like taking in other people's stuff. I don't like looking at things. I don't like reading stuff. I just like doing it on my own and then critiquing what I put down. Mm-hmm. So that way you don't have other people's, vices or whatever when whatever you're trying to create. And a lot of the times, especially when we're beginning something new, we tend to forget that there was a point in time in which we didn't know what 1 + 1 equals, right? We don't know how to walk. We didn't know how to crawl. We didn't know how to feed ourselves, right? We kind of just start from the beginning and just go. It's a process, right? How do you think, or why, not how, why do you think we get away from the process and just want to get to the end?
Well, I believe a majority is instant gratification, we just, like you said, like you just want to get at the end, you just want to get there and accomplished, but I feel like when you rush it, you get there too soon, prematurely, and you learn nothing. You know what I mean? You didn't enjoy the journey. You just know you got there. That's almost like cheating on a test. You're gonna pass because you're cheating off the smart student, whatever, like that. But there was like really no work involved, and like you said, eventually at the end of the month, it's gonna slap you in the face, or in a way like that when for example, if you what's a good example? Like if you wanted to learn kickboxing, you know, let's say for example, and then you knew there was like an event, you know, semifinals, a competition, you know, in 2 months, you know, and all you want to do is this certain kick you saw on YouTube, you know what I mean? You want to jump on the wall and come back and hit him in the face. But what if this person knows you're doing it because they know like things about you, like the other, you know, your opponent, like, okay, this person's like either short, tall, whatever like that, so they're gonna try to jump out the wall, whatever like that. I've known from my experience, you know what I mean, that wall's slippery, or that wall's sticky, so you're not be able to jump. So here you go, you try to do that kick, and then you mess up. Yeah. And the other person saw it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
you missed everything.
I think a lot of times, especially when it comes to the journey, it's hard for many of us to really be a part of it because it's painful. It's risk taking. Mm-hmm. Because we don't know. We have a vision of what we believe the finish line may look like, but we are unsure. So if we choose to go on that path, when we go down that journey, it's very risk taking because we don't know where this is really going to end up. It's going to be painful, right? And I think for me, we need to practice patience when it comes towards opening up our mind to certain things, but we also need to understand that there's no such thing as a painless lesson, right?
Right.
Everything that you learn is going to come with some sort of pain. Everything that you go through or change is going to come with some form of pain. And if it doesn't come with some form of pain, are you really growing from it? Not necessarily, because something has to be broken in order for it to be healed. And when it gets healed, it can be stronger. Like any sort of muscle or scar or whatever the case is going to come back thicker.
Right.
Same with the mind, right? In order for you to be able to learn something new, you're going to have to fuck up. You're going to have to fuck up. We are going to have to fuck up. And I think a lot of the times we are afraid of that fucking up. Because we think we know it all. We don't want to be embarrassed. We don't want to be that guy that doesn't look like he knows what he's doing.
Right, right. You know how for a minute I was doing that whole jump rope stuff, whatever, at the gym. You know, it started with just like trying to hop in. You know, I couldn't hop with one leg for life. You know what I mean? I would take one hop, and I'm like, whoa, I have to do this again. You know, and I finally got it. You know, I finally got the one hop on one foot, whatever. And, you know, I went to the gym and I started hopping on one foot, and then here came this guy and started like windmilling and like you know cross, and I'm like, and he literally did that for like 10 seconds, and went back to the bicycle. And, you know, I looked at him. I'm not going to lie. I didn't, like, look from the corner of my eye. I looked at him like, God damn, like, you know what I mean? So
I just did all this shit for nothing.
Really,
man.
really. And, you know, it didn't, you know, now, you know, I guess maybe years ago, probably when I was unwise, quote unquote, I probably would have been like, oh, man, what the heck, you know, it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
And I would have shamed myself. I'm fat. I'm too big. You know, I would have found, you know, quote unquote, everything wrong with me.
Yeah.
But instead of doing that, I actually had the courage to ask that guy, how do you do it? While he was walking to his car, the same guy, you know, and, you know, he was dressed up, ready to go to work, and he pulled out the jump rope right there in the parking lot. And he started, you know what I mean, a businessman just hopping on one foot and this and that and cross and this and that, you know. So, like, it made me like, I'll ask the person who I'm comparing myself to, in a way, what I want to do, what I want to accomplish. Because, you know, sometimes we do compare ourselves. Like,
how scary was that?
For what, to ask him? Super scary, bro. Because in my mind, I'm like, first I thought this person came and showed me out, you know what I mean, on purpose. That was his mission, you know, for a quick second. That's what I thought. I'm like, well, why would you do that, you know? But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just ask him. That was my whole mindset, you know what I mean? Like, why would you do that to me, man? You see me out here struggling, trying to jump.
You know, fuck me up, man.
Yeah, but that was the scary part. That was that was the like 2 seconds right before I was, you know, walked up to the gentleman and just asked him, you know. I guess if he would have said no, you know, that would have been like confirmation, I guess, of whatever happened. But that was the scary part, just like putting that whole, like, it should have been like this. I should have shined and this person shouldn't have showed me out. Put that away and just like, hey, I want to do exactly what you're doing because eventually I want to.
And that's like, to me, that's the hardest part of like anything in life. Is the hard part is just about showing up, right? So just like asking the questions, right? Just going to go ask the questions. That's the hard part, right? Showing up is something that it's what causes us to stop doing what we're doing, right? Same with me. All I have to do is show up to the plane and just jump out. The process of it is easy. Once I'm in the middle of it and going, that's the easy part. But showing up is the hard part. But what we have to do is make sure every time that we do show up, or every time we're trying to learn something new, or even in that case, we approach it with an open slate, right? So same with the way you was asking that man that question. I'm just trying to learn. I'm just like hella curious right now. So let me just be open to whatever you're doing. Same way with like me jumping out of a plane, right? The feeling and the nervousness of jumping out of a plane, I don't believe is going anywhere. Anytime I'm going up on that plane ride, I am silent. Like I am to myself, say a little quick prayer. I start whatever random song pop up in my head that day. That's the song I'm singing for the whole day because it calms me down. But the fear of certain things is never going to go anywhere. So showing up is always going to be the hard part. But just every time you go, you get to that place, make sure you start over mentally. But what was it like? What do you think it would have been like for you if that guy would have been like, no, figure it out on your own?
I would have. That he gave me the answer that I probably would have done anyways. I would have figured it out on my own. You know what I mean? I got that far as to like hop on one foot. Like, I would have done it. It probably would have been on his time. He probably wouldn't be there at that gym no more, but I would be doing it. I knew I was committed to that whole jump rope routine workout, like just doing tricks and stuff like that. I was just committed. It caught my attention. I was just in there just going crazy, dude. You know what I mean? So I still would have done it. Like I said, it probably won't be like I said, like I had in my head how it happened, like, oh yeah, one day I'm gonna just pull up, he's gonna be there, I'm gonna be like, and I take that, you know what I mean? So it probably won't be like that, you know what I mean? I'll probably just do it just by myself, and
it's the anxiety when it comes to actually, I guess, being okay with the new lesson or the new sport or whatever it is you're trying to learn it's a breaking point for a lot of folks, right? Right. Like exactly what you're saying. It's okay. Even though this person may be rejecting me in some form of way, I still have to figure it out. That goes into how bad do you want to do it.
I put a new post in. Little post-its on my car.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I believe I talked to you about like, only talking about things I could prioritize, So I said like, if I really, really want it, I'll make a way.
Yeah.
If not, I'll make an excuse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I said, for example, right now, I want to do backflips, and I look at a couple of videos, I see how flexible I am, and like, and then someone comes around and says, oh, so how's that backflip going? I put it out there. Now it's coming back, and then I'm gonna feel like crap because I'm not even practicing. I'm not taking no lessons. That's why I said I could only talk about things I can prioritize confidently. So when I say the jump rope thing, when I say the whole fasting, the whole pull-up bar thing, you know what I mean? I can confidently say, yeah, I'm working on that. That's right now priority to me. You know what I mean? Because like that's just why I seem to prioritize right now.
Yeah, it's exactly what you said. Things that you want to do, you're going to figure out how to prioritize. The things that you really don't want to do, you're going to come up with an excuse for it.
Right.
So that's the same thing when it comes to, I guess, going back towards whatever that you're trying to do or whatever skill you're trying to learn. Because you're going to fuck up. Mm-hmm. But when you do fuck up, are you able to go back that second, third, fourth, and fifth time? Now, if you're able to go back all of them times, then it's clearly something that you want to do despite the hectic schedule you may have. But look at the excuses that you're making. And if you're looking at those excuses that you're making, ask yourself, do you really want to do it? And understand that it's okay and be honest if you don't want to do it.
Right.
Because a lot of the times we want to do stuff because other people are telling us to do stuff. Other people are unconsciously leading us down that path, right? Like what if, like, I don't know, let's say what if I didn't want to do a live like show, but I feel like I have to do it because everyone else is doing it.
Right.
My work or that live show isn't going to be as good, obviously, because I'm just here doing what I got to do. But also understand that you're not the wrong person for saying no. Right. And I think that goes back into what I was saying earlier in terms of being selfish, right? Just say no towards whatever it is you don't want to do and have confidence in your no, right? And understand that it's okay. Because if you would have said, you know what, forget it, I ain't trying to jump rope no more. Or if you'd have been like, forget it, I don't really care about photography no more or whatever.
Right.
It would have been cool. Unless now, if you would have stopped in that one thing, like let's say photography is constantly on your mind, right? Like the reason why I started skydiving is because for months it was constantly on my mind.
And you follow through.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, you know what I mean? You really follow through with your skydiving. Have you said, like, I want to skydive, and then the next week, you know, I'm trying to take a gymnastics class, you know, even if you just skydive in the gymnastics, like, so when you going to the gym, you know, gymnastics class or sessions, whatever, and you're like, oh, not right now, I'm still skydiving, this and that. You see, it's not that, I mean, of course you can, like, say, like, well, you know, I'm just busy with skydiving, you know what I mean? But I feel like it creates, like, this, I don't want to say vibe, but it creates like this thing where you could just dismiss something just because you're able to say something else is prioritizing. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just how I see it. I don't even say, for example, I'll give you an example. I remember a couple months ago you had me and I said, I do photography and I do a little video. Mm-hmm. You know, I said a little video for a reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because
I do video, but I'm also practicing video.
Yeah.
Lately, I've been doing video gigs.
Yeah.
So now confident, like I say, yeah, I do photography and video. You see what I'm saying? Because I was always working towards video. I was just watching videos, buying equipment this whole time, stabilizers, mics, and stuff like that. That's why I said a little video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I was working towards it.
Yeah. But you was honest in yourself. Some people just be like, yeah, I do this. And then when you start doing this, you be like, ugh, I don't really know. You know, you honest with yourself and saying, like, I'm not at the point where I want to be at. So, and that's one thing I commend with you about it, because whenever you do, like, you like weddings for photography, but whenever somebody try to bring you in, I remember you was telling me somebody was trying to have you do, like, some sport type of photography.
Right.
And you was open with them, telling them, like, yo, I got you, but don't expect the best thing, because this isn't what I specialize in.
Right.
Right? And then a lot of the times, with everything else in life, if we are not able to specialize, or if we are not confident in the work that we're doing towards something, it's okay to say no. Because a lot of the times when the reason why I believe it is important to embrace that beginner's mindset is because it allows you to be open towards everything else. Embracing that beginner's mindset allows you to be open towards everything else. But if you embrace that expert mindset, you're being closed off towards things. Because if you feel as if you're an expert in this field, right, nobody could come at you with any type of advice. Nobody could come at you and try to help you with do certain things.
Right.
Nobody could throw certain gems at you because you're an expert.
You already know it.
You know it all.
Quote unquote.
Exactly. But if you're just a beginner mindset wise, and you're just like, I'm just trying to come in new and fresh every single time, you're always going to be able to pick certain things up.
Yeah, most of the time, actually all the time, I tell them, like, I specialize in this. If you want this, man, I can recommend someone. It's not really my niche. Oh, well, come on, I know you can do it, this and that. I'm like, look, I just want to give you the best quality work. This really isn't me, but we can try it, see where it leads. But if you really want something done for whatever reason that you really gonna need it, I'd highly recommend somebody else for you. You know, I believe they got kind of upset, but they still talk to me though. That's the thing. Like, had they paid me all these hundreds of dollars and I did what I knew, and I didn't tell them, like, if I told them, like, oh yeah, man, I can shoot whatever you want. When someone says that, you gotta watch out.
You gotta go for it.
You gotta be careful when someone says I can do everything.
Yeah.
Because that means they can't do one thing real good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a fact. I could do it all, so that means I wasn't really able to focus and dial in on
one thing. Exactly. They haven't, like, you know what I mean? I wasn't like, and I'll bring this back, I wasn't like jump roping, skydiving, and learning sign language at the same time. You know what I mean?
You weren't trying to be Willis.
Right. I was focused on one thing. Okay, I think I'm good here in this area. Let me focus on something else. You know what I mean? So yeah, I told them, I don't know if they found somebody else, but we're still good friends. I don't want them to be resentful towards me, like, oh no, my new shit.
You just gotta take your time and be honest towards whatever it is.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah,
you just gotta be.
I tell them look, you could either get somebody else, or you can help me with this beginner journey on sports photography. You know what I'm saying? And it's not really
you want me to fuck up your stuff so I can learn.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
Everybody ain't trying to do that.
Right. Well, you'd be surprised. You know, this last video project, I'm like, look, I can only give you what I know. You know what I mean? You know, I'll shoot the footage, I'll give it to you, and I'll do what I can when it comes to editing. Because, you know, I'm still not an editor. I told them that, you know, and, you know, I gave them the video. You know, they said I did pretty good. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know, they even said, "Oh, can you remove this, and that?" And like, you know, I was trying to get an idea what they wanted.
You learn along the way.
Yeah,
and that's the fact that you're open to it is most important. Same with everybody else that is listening. The fact that we have to be open towards the things that we're doing. The second we're closed off, we're blocking our own ability to become, you know, greater or to improve or just to become better in whatever field that we're in. You know, so we gotta be open. So
yeah, there's no problem. There's really no problem. I act like there's no problem being a beginner in anything and letting people know you're a beginner in anything. You know, what I mean?
A lot of us think that we're wrong for that.
Right.
Like everybody starts somewhere.
Right.
That person, LeBron James, one time couldn't dunk, couldn't hit free throws, shoot threes, nothing. You learn, right? Same with what you're doing in photography. You couldn't shoot. You couldn't do videos. Same with me. I couldn't jump out of a plane. I couldn't do none of that. There's nothing wrong with being a beginner, but I don't know if it's society or just our friends or just the environment that has kind of told us or made us feel like being a beginner in certain aspects is wrong. We're wrong to be new. We're wrong to be like ignorant within the field that we kind of know nothing about. Like,
for me, I experienced that before. You know, I'm like, I don't want people to see me like, you know, like in the journey. I want them to see me, you know, accomplished. Yeah. You know, that's what everybody likes, anyways. The accomplished person. You know what I mean? Who wants to, you know, bypass all that? You know, get lipo, whatever, F the gym. You know what I mean? Yeah, we bypass all that. That's what we don't want nobody to see the whole like thing because I believe we're scared that if we don't follow through, we'll look even worse than what we're trying to like either fix or, you know, come over. We don't want us to, you know. So that's why, like I said, it's hardly important to me. Talk about what you can prioritize. Because, you know, if you're saying like I want to lose 40 pounds, but you don't want nobody to see you in the process, you know what I mean? But if you're telling everybody I want to lose 40 pounds, and now they're looking at you in the process and you're not following through, this person is not going to follow through with their own stuff. What makes them think they're going to follow through if I were to ask them for a favor or if I were to ask them to do a job?
Exactly, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I highly recommend everybody listening out there, talk about what you can prioritize. It is so important. I changed my mindset like this year about that. You know what I mean? And like, I don't see people saying like, well, not that I'm paying attention, but I don't see folks saying like, oh, like Diddy doesn't follow through with his photography or his videos or whatever like that. I don't really hear that, you know, in my face or whatever, at least. But how they said like, had it been years ago where I was, you know, I didn't really take it serious. I'll just shoot you just to shoot you. Oh, Diddy over here, I thought he was really good. What happened here? You know what I'm saying?
It happens, man. It happens. So, moving on forward into the main question, just the question that I come up, spur of the moment type of thing, man. But so this question is fairly simple, especially when it comes to like the whole beginner mindset. Didier, do you think you will ever get out of that mindset of I'm a beginner? And do you think it's wise to get out of that mindset?
No.
Why?
No, because like you said, if you approach something as an expert, they're gonna ask you questions, and when you can't really explain it like a process, as opposed to just getting that to the answer, you might give them fool's gold. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they're gonna go and take it somewhere else, and it's not gonna work out for them. They're gonna come back like, what happened? I thought you knew. You know, like. But if you come like as a beginner, you know, and you're ready, like YOLO, like, you know, fill me up, like I'm ready to take any knowledge.
Did you say YOLO?
I said fill me up.
Oh, I thought he said YOLO. Like,
nah, don't sound like me. And, you know, fill me up, like I'm ready. I'm a sponge right now, like, you know. Even someone who's also learning might know something that you might not know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Someone that's just learning just as much as you. So I come at everything as a beginner. no shit, I'm not worried about nobody. Is it for you or for somebody else? You know what I mean? Is it for you or is it for somebody else? You know, because if it's somebody else, you know, just do a highlight reel. You know,
and make sure you stay in that beginner's mindset as long as you possibly could.
Oh yeah.
Make sure you do that, because the moment you begin to think that you know it all, that's the moment you're going to begin to not know nothing.
That's where you cut it off.
That's exactly where you cut it off.
That's exactly where you cut off. You're unteachable. You know what I mean?
And you never want to become that person. I ever want to become that person. You always want to be the person that people could. You always want to be that sponge. People, you're a magnet towards new lessons and towards new energy, towards whatever it is. And the second you get out of that beginner's mindset and go into, you know, the expert mindset, it's like, oh no, you out, you lost. I'm not trying to be an expert. Nothing. I'm not trying to be an expert on mental health. I'm not trying to be an expert therapist. I'm not trying to be none of that.
Right.
Because I always tell people, my patients teach me a lot of shit, like all the time. They teach me how to work with them. They teach me how to work with others. They teach me what not to do, how to do it. My patients would tell me like, oh, yo, you're not listening.
Can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Have your patients ever revealed something about you? Like they'll act a certain way and you'll be like, I noticed that when they do this, I act like this.
Like, have they told me that? Or
No. Have you noticed
I
it?
internally, like, realized
Yes.
that? Yeah.
Yeah. It's a crazy feeling, huh?
Yeah.
You'd be like, whoa, like, you know, I used to just get mad at certain people for doing certain things. I'm like, I noticed that when they do that, I do this. And I haven't been able to change that.
Because once we start to be a little bit more mindful of our own behavior, we start to realize, like, our behavior. Right, we start to realize like the negative things that we do. We start to realize, you know, the twitch in our eye when somebody says a certain thing. Right, we start to realize that we're not really listening like we think we actually are listening.
Right.
Right. So once you're able to acknowledge where you're at and be a little bit more present in whatever it is, everything's gonna be cool. So like same with, you know, with my clients, the reason why they teach me so much stuff is because I'm open to it all. Like I see no difference between me as a therapist and them as a patient. I always say that the only thing that separates me from them is the fact that I have a piece of paper that fucking put me in debt and now I gotta pay it off. That's it. Like that's the only difference. Besides that, it's like, ain't no real difference because I got shit going on, you got shit going on.
Right, because had I been like, it's, you know, it's all about them. Have you been? It's all about them, this and that, and then you're not really like you said, like being able to like figure out like how your behavior, you know, how you act towards them. You kind of cut it off right there too. You know what I mean? It's all about them. They're the problem, quote unquote. It's them. I'm not doing anything. I'm just doing my job, quote unquote, whatever. Mm-hmm. You know, but even at your job, you can learn a lot about yourself. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. But good looking for coming through, Didier, man.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you having me.
Through, my brother. My guy Didier gave me a shirt today, man. Oh shit, good looking.
Yeah, you like it?
I do.
It's fly.
It is fly. And I'm a fly. I'm not gonna, like I told you, I'm not gonna wear this shirt until like I get my A license in skydiving, and that's.
What if it don't fit and you get fat?
It's a large, bro.
Oh.
I'll be alright. I'll be alright.
What if you gain a couple pounds?
I know how to lose weight.
Hey, low key, yeah, you're right. Hey, you know what's crazy? I mean, you can cut it off. It don't matter to me, but you know what's crazy? I'm now gonna practice this thing where I'm only gonna eat the calories I burn at the gym.
What?
Yeah. So, you know, I've been doing cardio and lifting, and I'm assuming I burn, like, let's say, for example, you know, you burn 500, between 300 and 500 when you sleep. So, like, I'm gonna, like, burn, let's say, 800 at the gym, plus the 500 or 300, let's say 300, 1100. I'm only getting 1100 calories.
That's a lot of calories.
1100?
To reduce.
Yeah. I'm only gonna burn those. I mean, eat those. And it's gonna be full of protein, fiber, you know, the essentials. So I'm not gonna go like get a Snickers bar, you know what I mean, that type of thing. It's like just like egg whites, oatmeal, you know, that type of thing. So I'm gonna try it. I'll let you know what happens.
Good. Just stay in that beginner's mindset, man.
Right. Yeah.
As always, man, to all those individuals who are listening and tuning in, good looking. Right? As always, this is Willis. Shouts out to my man Didier for sitting down because he was already here recording. But as always, always understand, Ain't no wealth without your mental health. So please stay blessed and take care of yourself. Be great, y'all. Peace.
Yeah.